coming to us live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. We've got Mike Dussault with us. Good evening, Mike.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Wow, Mike's loud. I love it.
Yes, we can hear him. He looks great.
No, it's good. Your mic's just hot. It's good. I like that.
It's the way I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome.
We have nothing to talk about with this guy. Nothing happened today.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. You are seeing nothing. Man, we finally. It has been years in leading up to this point.
It's been a long time, man. I mean, 3 years, something like that. So
3 years. Yeah, that's what you told everybody.
Yeah.
3 years in the making.
And you guys did a good job of keeping your mouth shut for 3 years, too.
We tried.
We tried. John was baiting me a couple weeks ago.
John wouldn't do that much.
John was. It was him. He was baiting me, and I didn't hardly say a word.
Just a couple. It's all good. Well, no, we're really excited. Obviously, I mean, we worked really hard to perfect these new products that are coming next week, and we're just the buzz out there. I mean, Brian, you posted that video at I think 12:01 this morning.
Yeah. Hey, it was Tuesday.
Yeah, you did it just right. So
and there were people waiting.
We appreciate that. But I think you hit 10,000 views or so already, huh?
There's 10,000 on Facebook. Last I looked, there was like 1,800 on YouTube. So we're doing all right.
Not so bad.
Some other guys posted some videos. I saw they had like 45 views, so I don't feel bad. I think we're doing.
We'll see if you can do it again tomorrow.
It grows because it keeps getting shared, and the more it gets shared, the more views you get. So
exactly,
we're going to get some traction off of that. But Mike, and I know that you're busy, but a lot of questions have popped up. Stuff I don't have answers to, and I was wondering if you could shed some light on some of this stuff for us.
Maybe. We're still trying to hold back a little bit of stuff. So
understood.
There is some element of surprise next week when we officially launch it. But
understood.
I'll answer what I can and just smile and nod for the rest. How's that?
Okay. Here's the big question, and I'm tired of dodging it because I don't know the answer, and I think there's some misinformation out there, perhaps. So I wanted to just ask you, what kind of price point are we looking at here?
I won't give you an exact number.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll tell you it is reassuringly expensive.
I got to use that when the next bride comes. So how much do you charge? Well, I'm reassuringly expensive.
Exactly.
Wow.
If it was too cheap, you'd think it was
of course,
crap, right?
Of course. Of course.
Right.
Right.
Well, and I won't get into details there, but the point with this system, and we're speaking obviously of Evolve 50 specifically, the new column array from Electro Voice. I think what we want to get across is that this is not built to compete as just a ceremony system. This is not built to compete with many of the systems out there that are largely built of plastic and cardboard and things like this. This is a legitimate PA that can be used for events. I think on your video, and I would tend to agree with you there, Brian. I mean, of events to 200 up to 300 people, your typical wedding, and that means you don't have to buy multiple systems. This is something that you could certainly use as a ceremony. It's very portable. It's lightweight. It's sleek. It's sexy. It's elegant. But you can also drag it inside and do your reception with it as well.
Right.
There's a lot of uses for this thing. And, I'll say it is priced absolutely appropriately for what you're going to get.
That's fair.
So that's definitely where it's going to be. But pricing, of course, will come out on Tuesday of next week, the first day of DJ Expo. So you'll be able to see it probably. Well, all of our dealers will go live with it online and such.
Right.
So, pricing would probably be even before the show opens. So if you're really hot to trot, but I would encourage everybody, because the demand and the buzz on this thing is really high. Don't be afraid to place some pre-orders with your dealers. Also, we'll be partnered with
I DJ now, right?
Yeah, I DJ now out at the expo, so we'll be taking orders at the show floor, but it'll be available live pretty much everywhere that day. So your local dealers or whoever you want to buy it from, we'd certainly love to see it if you're at the show. But
they're excited.
Anywhere around the country, you can still get your hands on this thing.
They're very excited. We've got who was talking about this? David over at Six Star was talking about it today. Then you had Ben Stowe talking about it, and of course Brian Marsh. So that's West Coast, Midwest, and East Coast.
Yeah. All of our dealers are very excited about it. We had a private demo room at Infocom.
A little over. Jeffrey Kwan told me about that.
Yeah, and we had some of our best dealers come by just to see it and preview it a little bit, and they were all blown away. I can just tell you that. And it's hard to get these our dealers sometimes to invest in new products, and because they've got a lot of stuff to sell already, and it takes an investment on their part to carry it in their stores, things like that. We've got some very big commitments from our dealers already, and they're already placing their orders with us. They won't ship for a while yet, but it won't be too long. So don't be afraid to get your pre-orders in, because they're going to be tough to come by, I think, in the first couple of months.
No, I'm not a retailer, and I'm not a guy who distributes anything. But here's a little tip for you. All you got to do is tell your dealers, Brian Red's going to do videos on it. And then they're like, okay, give me thousands of them.
That's right.
Every time.
That's right. Well, the buzz is good, like I said, and thanks to you. I think there's some others out there that have posted some stuff. Jeremy Breck posted his stuff today. Also, we've got a couple others that'll be hitting. You guys were kind enough to agree to do that for us, and it's important for us, because we don't want all that messaging right out of the chute to come just from the brand. Mm-hmm. There's a certain amount of trust that comes from you guys and your real opinions of these products. So,
if it's crap, I don't show it.
Yeah,
that's the rule,
Yeah.
If you send it to me and I looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, Mike, look, thanks, but no thanks. I don't really want to mess with this. I've done it.
So let me quiz you a little bit, Brian.
Okay.
We've traded some emails and and texts and stuff. So what overall were your impressions of that system?
And this is a very a personal thing, but for a guy in my position, a disabled person trying to put together a speaker system by myself, this is by far the easiest for me to do as a one-handed DJ. Not only to carry weight-wise, but to assemble. It's nothing. I can't imagine that it would be any easier for a two-handed person to do. It was very, very easy. Mm-hmm. The sound, phenomenal. I didn't feel like I was lacking on any of the events that we used it on. We used it on 3 separate events. We used it at a quinceañera, where there was a lot of bass, there was a lot of reggaeton, there was a lot of hip hop and other things. We used it at a wedding, a Serbian wedding, and we used it at a same-sex wedding, a gay wedding, where I was doing a lot of disco energy and stuff. So the music was different at every event. And it handled the music just great. It handled the bassy stuff with no distortion, with no hesitation from those subs. I didn't have to make any adjustments as far as my output. And we put all of the settings just at 0. Mm-hmm. I don't understand. The volume used to be 1 through 10. Now 0 dB is 5, or 5 with 0 dB, and I don't know. But we left it there. I didn't move it, and it was fine. We didn't need to turn it up at all. In fact, one of the weddings they requested we turn the bass down.
Yeah, the sub that thing comes with, the little 12-inch sub.
You did it right.
It packs a punch. It packs a punch, baby. I mean, I got to tell you. And that's kind of why this thing took us so long, is the development team. We kept going back and making it better and better and better and better. And, we just didn't want to come out with one as a Me Too. We were a little late to the game. We would have liked to have gotten it out sooner, but as a good friend once told me, you know what pioneers get? Arrows in the back. And, and so we watched and got to see what the market was developing like, and we saw a need for someone, a manufacturer, to come out with something that would have all the benefits of a system that size and that format and that elegance and portability, but still provide real performance that you can count on. Something that can substitute for some full range boxes in many cases. So
the capabilities of the system are, I mean, I've got no question. I'm not uncomfortable about bringing them to, I would say probably 75% of my events. Sometimes they get big and you got to bring a different system, but most of my events, you could totally bring it. There are a couple impressions that I do have that I want to share that I don't believe I expressed in the video, and I'll share with you live.
Sure.
So first of all, I don't know what you made that subwoofer casing out of, but that is the most durable subwoofer casing. I mean, I'm kind of clumsy because I'm a cripple, so I bang stuff around. I couldn't scratch that thing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that I carry, and oh my gosh, I'm going to scratch it. I'm going to screw it up. No, not this. I couldn't.
Yeah, people describe it as like a truck bedliner kind of.
It kind of is. I mean, but it's. I mean, I've seen this stuff before, and it's cool. The other thing that I really like is that the top is not flat. Right. So a lot of times when you're a mobile DJ and people are dancing, they're putting wine glasses and crap on your sub, and it gets dumped over. Looks like hell. You can't do it on this one. It's not flat. It's got a thing. So that was smart.
That was absolutely by design, and that was really developed by DJs. I mean, we had a small group of users that helped us develop it and really look at it as we were going through that process in the design phase. And that was feedback that we got right away is, hey, I hate it when people put drinks on my subwoofer. So how do we fix that? And we made it not only functional in your case, but also elegant. We also thought a lot of the other systems out there don't look very good because they're basically a box with a pole sticking out of it, and there's no visual attraction to the system. And while we wanted something that would certainly blend in and be sleek and kind of fade into its environment, we wanted to also make sure that we were building something that if you did see it and you were looking at it, it wasn't like it just looks like a box. Like there was no thought into the design of it. So we worked really hard on that.
It's smart.
Yeah. So you guys are seeing all the benefits of 3 years of painful development, believe me.
Something else that's pretty impressive. I mean, when you crank the speaker up and you somebody would have to like be there physically with the speaker to really fully appreciate this. But a lot of times when you crank up a subwoofer, it's just booming all over the place. With these, it's pretty amazing because the bass is almost directional. It's firing out front. In fact, if you put the hand on the back of the cabinet, you can't feel much.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unique.
Yeah.
I mean, that's different.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's everything about it is fantastic. One other thing I'll point out is, the top array. I've seen a few people mention what they think is in the top, and I've seen a couple incorrect things where actually you did call it out correctly. There's 8 3.5-inch drivers in the top portion of the array.
Like she didn't have yet. Tell me.
Exactly. Well, it's better than pulling the whole thing.
Right. I don't know. It's just some stuff up there, and it sounds good. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what you don't see underneath is also some wave guides over each of the individual drivers as well. So 2 things that you're getting, because we're using multiple drivers more than most. We're using 8. And because we're using 3.5-inch as opposed to 2 or 2.5-inch, we're able to achieve a lot more, much better low mid frequency response in like the 200 to 1,000 hertz range, where typically with these systems there's a big hole right in that low mid. So you can get some boom and you can get some sizzle, but you don't get that overall natural frequency response. So we've really done a good job of being able to give a system that has that nice full range sound. And then over each of the individual drivers, we also have basically a wave guide, technology that actually helps, with the dispersion and make sure that top is actually behaving and getting some good constructive coupling between the devices. So that helps with the throw and then the dispersion also.
Dispersion is very nice.
Yeah, really
Very nice.
Really good stuff. So.
A lot of times, folks, if you've got a traditional speaker system, just kind of front firing top cab, I don't know what are you looking at? Probably it's like a 60 degree on that where it's coming out. Maybe I don't know.
On the Evolve?
Just on anything. On a standard speaker, what are you looking at?
Typically 90 for most of our boxes anyway, but they do vary.
What about the Evolve?
Evolve is 120 degrees wide.
So you're getting people.
Least.
Yeah. There's people who, like, if you're doing a wedding reception and you have anybody maybe a little to the side of you, they're not directly in front of you. Mm-hmm. And when people are talking on the microphone, sometimes they can't hear what anyone's saying. It's muffled. With 120 degree dispersion, they're going to be able to hear it a lot better. So that's a big bonus for mobile guys.
For sure.
Yeah, and it also serves just as a monitor. You can hear that full range, but it's also very well behaved and controlled. 120 degrees in the horizontal plane, but also we kept it pretty narrow in the vertical plane at about 40 degrees. So that helps with the throw. So it's really wide, but fairly narrow. So you get the throw. And because when you fully assemble this thing, which is super easy to do, as you pointed out in your video, once you get it up and going, I think it's just about 7 feet tall.
82 inches? Is that what it is? Or 84?
I didn't measure it, but maybe you know better than
I think 82 sticks out in my head.
Okay, maybe measured it, but which I don't know. Do the math for me. I don't know what is 60 inches is 5 feet. So yeah, you're in the neighborhood of about 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
By the time you get that,
just shy.
Yeah, just about 7 feet. So it's up above your average people's head, I guess. If you're doing an NBA party or something, you might have a problem. But
no, it works. Just, I mean, it's been beautiful at all of our events that we've done. So very, very, very well done. And the bells and whistles on the thing are just a bonus.
Oh God, there's so much toys on there.
We're talking about design, cabinet design, and coupling of what's in the array and all this stuff. But really, man, there's so many crazy cool things in that menu and things you can do, different input options. Oh, here's one for you. I got to ask you. The Phantom 1 and Phantom 2. Is that Phantom powered to a microphone?
Yes, if you want to use condenser microphones, that's usually going to be, probably. I don't know that there's so many DJs that are doing that, but obviously for acoustic musicians, things like that, if they wanted to plug a condenser mic directly into either one of those inputs, it'll provide that voltage directly to the microphone. You won't need an external mixing board with Phantom power to be able to use those mics. So
that's smart as hell that you did that.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's a cool feature. There's delay built in. We've got Bluetooth control and monitoring. Yes. We've got Bluetooth streaming. Man, there's just so much cool stuff. It's I'm really excited about it. I love the way it sounds. Love the way it looks. I just haven't felt this good about anything for quite some time. I'm really
it gets kind of like, okay, here's another one, here's another speaker, here's another light, and once in a while something comes out where it's like, oh yeah, here we go.
Now we got
we got something to talk about now.
Yeah,
and people are excited.
Mike, we got
we
got a couple of questions here. I want to get those, and then we can progress to the next a couple more things that are going to be released. But the first question somebody had was asking about. Is there going to be a EV room, a dedicated room at DJ Expo for listening to the speakers?
We're not going to do a demo room. We did that a couple of years ago. The problem with the demo room, specifically at DJ Expo, is those rooms were really far away from the show floor.
Very remote.
And we just honestly didn't get the traffic up there. So we moved away from that last year, and we built up a booth, fully enclosed, that has 10-foot high walls, pretty much surrounding the entire booth. And, that isn't perfect. Obviously, that environment gets pretty loud. But we found that the walls were enough to knock down the ambient noise enough where you could get a pretty good indication as to what you were dealing with when you were listening to our speakers inside the booth. So we went for that concept again this year. Nice. We did kind of double down, and we have a bigger booth. We, in fact, have the biggest booth on the show floor at DJ Expo. It's a 40 by 30 right across from Chauvet. So it's a big space. But again, we're going with those 10-foot high walls. to help isolate us a little bit. It'll give you easy access to the booth and the people. And while it's not a perfect listening environment, we think it's the best of both worlds, or the best we can do anyway.
No, just so you can turn them on, let people hear them. You're all good.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you'll definitely be able to judge them. Put it there.
Okay. The next question was about a sub for the ZLX series of speakers. And I know you and I've had the conversation in the past where you've talked that there's an ELX sub that you guys recommended using, but now there's going to be some changes in that family. So let's talk about that.
Right. So good.
Well, yeah, with ELX, we're coming out with another generation at the same time called ELX 200. And that one is really taking the old ELX and improving upon it in every way. The cabinets are lighter weight. We're adding the signal processing built into the cabinet, better power, Bluetooth control and monitoring, and really updating the aesthetics, things like that. So you really have an incredibly new line. We've expanded and added a couple models to the line. These will be launching at DJ Expo 2, and all that good stuff, and we've managed to hold the price point of where the old ELX version was. So
nice,
improving upon it in every way, giving our users a lot more for the money. Specifically, with the question with the ZLX sub, the reason why we never built a ZLX sub specifically for ZLX was only because at that price point, the ZLX cabinets are a composite enclosure. They're not wood. It doesn't make them bad. EV makes some really good composite enclosures, and we make sure that they don't resonate and do weird things that some composite boxes can do. But ours are indeed composite. And so to keep in line with the family, what we didn't want to do is build a composite sub. When you get a subwoofer that's a big 18-inch subwoofer, it moves a lot of air, and composite, just by its nature, would flex a little bit too much. You'd lose a lot of energy. So it just really didn't make sense from an engineering standpoint to make a composite subwoofer. So at that point, you'd make a wood subwoofer, and our entry-level wood subwoofer was the ELX sub, and it matches perfectly all the crossovers in the DSP. We can match it up, and away you go. And it's still priced very competitively. The subwoofer, the 18-inch sub in the ELX family and the new ELX 200 family are $799. So it's right in line it's among the most affordable subwoofers in the market. So.
Yeah, you don't want a plastic sub box.
No, not so much.
No.
Unless you got a Honda Civic, then you're cool.
Yeah, then it's all right.
But
I think you can bump that stuff driving down my street at 2 a.m. Thank you very much, kids. That sounds like a bunch of tin cans in the back. Like, what's that song? Like the Way You Move. There, Outcast. Sorry, I got an ADD, dude. You don't know me that well, but I'm just telling you it happens.
Fair enough.
You want a wood box.
So let's talk about of course, there's been an 18-inch sub in the ELX series, so that's nothing new. There's a couple of new boxes you've added for the tops, and then you've put a smaller subwoofer. I want to talk about that smaller subwoofer. There hasn't been a 12-inch subwoofer in that line before. How does it compare to the one that we've been used to?
Yeah, you guys are used to the ZXA1 sub, and that was a great little sub. But we wanted ZXA1 sub was always kind of a bastard. It lived off on its own island and wasn't part of our 4 main families of loudspeakers. So we've decided to do a new 12-inch sub and integrate that into the ELX 200 family. The price point's aligned with where we wanted it to be. So in the ELX 200 family, you've got a 12-inch sub, an 18-inch sub. And then for the full range boxes, you've got a 10-inch 10-inch 2-way, 12-inch 2-way, and an 18-inch 2-way. I am just having a mess here.
15.
10, to my world.
12, and a 15-inch full range. So that's what you've got in that family. All models are available either powered or passive.
Are you replacing the old sub?
It's not going to be a replacement.
An addition.
It's going to be an addition. I think when I think about it, I don't think there's going to be much reason why you wouldn't buy the new one.
That's what I was kind of thinking, yeah.
but as these things go, I think we'll just tend to leave it in the marketplace. If people, don't buy too much of the old one anymore, we'll examine it at that point. But there's no real plans with it. We our company's a little funny. I think we just like making stuff forever and just let it go, and that's okay because it gives you guys options. Right. What's the difference? We'll keep making them. If we sell a few less of them, that's okay. And we'll just keep coming out with new stuff. So
yeah, I like that.
So will the ELX on the DSP in the back, will they have the ability, even the 12-inch sub, to go and dial into the top cabinet so you're set as I'm used to with the EKX series and the ETX?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, it'll have presets for ZLX. It'll have presets within its own family for ELX 200. I can't recall what other ones we've included in there, but there's also generic crossovers if you're using, God forbid, with some other branded speaker. You generic crossover presets, I think, at 80, 100, 120, so on and so forth. So yeah, you've got all the flexibility in the world, really.
I really like that feature. That's the first time I ever saw that was on the EKX 15 that I just got, I guess, in March. That was really nice. You don't have to think about it. It's like, okay, I'm just going to tell my subwoofer what top I'm using, and it just does whatever it does for me. I don't got to think.
Yeah, it's perfect because it's not just a crossover at that point. It's also taking into account any delay and things like that. So definitely if you are using tops and subs from the EV family, always use that feature. Use the factory presets. We spend an awful lot of time to make sure they're right, and just don't second guess it. Trust me, these guys.
My number one rule is never. I mean, just whoever's smarter than me, whatever they tell me to do, that's what I do.
Me too. Yeah. And I'm surrounded by people that are way smarter than me.
People will say, why do you do it that way? So because somebody a lot smarter than me told me to do it like that.
That's right.
That's why.
You got it.
That's all I got for you.
That's good. It's good.
Okay. Just checking to see if we had any more questions. You mentioned that the new ELX series, ELX 200, are going to be passive and powered.
Yep, available both ways, powered and passive. So
perfect.
So you've got options. We also, I forgot to mention, we added fly points on the boxes that the old family did not have. So you can suspend these with eye bolts or all kinds of different accessories there too, if you wanted to fly them. Great for small little installs if you guys are working a little club or bar or something like that. Great way to hang a couple of powered boxes and get really, really good results for an incredible price, really.
Mike, one question and it didn't come up tonight, but Brandon here, Red Max, mentioned this, and this is a question we've had numerous times, is why and I know the answer because you and I have talked about this, but why haven't you guys come out with a dual 18 sub in the ETX or even the EKX line?
Because we don't want to lift it.
Stack it, man. Just stack it. Couple of them suckers and call it a day.
And that, at the end of the day, that is what we think.
By two, they're big.
I totally understand that there are folks out there that do prefer to haul around a dual 18. We think it's in the best interest to give yourself that flexibility of having two single 18s. If you want to stack them. If you want to roll them apart, roll them apart. No problem at that point.
We didn't want to lift it. That was the best answer.
Exactly. We talked about this, and it's like, yep, I understand.
Jeez, do you know what it takes to ship those damn things?
Right.
I mean, the single 18, already is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you get what you pay for, and it's built that way for a reason, but
tornadoes coming, you just go hide behind a speaker and you're safe.
EV used to make the MTL4B, which is a quad 18 sub. This was back in the Monsters of Rock days. Pretty much every metal band in the world was touring with dozens and dozens and dozens of those things, and they weighed 300 pounds. And the industry changed. Everybody's going lighter and getting more out of what they got.
Right.
So nobody's calling and asking us to build that anymore, which is weird. So.
Good. So, Mike, when you were on with me a few weeks back, we had talked about the idea of having the speakers kind of centrally located and splaying them out as a perfect kind of a way to cover an area. And I don't know if you had a chance to check out the picture that I did for my street dance, where we set up in the traditional, subs and speakers, right and left of the DJ booth. But as it started to rain, everything had to be pulled in and undercover. So we ended up setting up the stacking everything in one bay of a garage at the fire department.
So I saw that.
Coupled everything.
Yeah, coupled. Oh my God, that just became, that was incredible.
Physics rules, man.
Oh, how? Physics are awesome.
Yeah, it was.
I'm just picturing John running around outside in the rain just so he could listen to it.
It was.
How come it's twice as loud in here?
It was an incredible, just the number of or the amount of bass that was coming through, and it's good without, but putting it together, I almost felt like I needed to go back and pull those down a little bit because there was just so much that was driving. It was incredible.
Here's a fun one. I know that, we're designing all these speakers to have the pole coming out of the sub and all that stuff. But in reality, is that really the way to go? Is coupling better on those subwoofers? In reality, I understand it's the popular thing to do, but is it the correct thing to do if you want a little more punch?
Yeah, I mean, acoustically correct, is different from realistic,
Right.
So, coupling your subwoofers as a single point is always ideal, but
you can't always do it. Yeah.
Frankly, it's probably 5% of your events where that's even achievable. It's pretty rare.
Yeah,
I'll be coupling everything.
I'm trying to figure this out now. It's like I've always gone with the 2 speaker stacks, lighting, and then 1 video screen. It's like, no. Do I just go with 1 massive stack in the middle and then do 2 video screens to kind of balance it out? I've got to figure this out. I have a month and then homecoming starts.
Get some speaker tripods, dude. It'd be cool.
Yeah, I got that too. But I mean,
people are stuck on symmetry, and
yeah,
my OCD kicks in whenever I see these things that don't look balanced or whatever. It freaks me out. Believe me. But the audio side. At the end of the day, that is, a great way to do it if you can.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean that's a full 3 dB gain though, right? When you couple like that.
Yes, and what's even more important now, 3 dB is nice. Truth be told, 3 dB, a 3 decibel variance is just about the smallest amount of volume change that humans can perceive.
Right.
So it's really not a whole lot of additional output by coupling there. What's more important is that those really long frequencies, because they're not split far apart from each other, are no longer creating any destructive interference and creating hot spots or dead spots within your coverage. You're getting a nice even tone and coverage throughout your area.
Dude, John, this is so much easier than Ben Stowe, just so you know.
You see that?
This is so much easier than Ben Stowe.
Are we having to pull out
Don't laugh.
I'm
serious.
Translate this part. Okay.
I love Ben, but damn, get off the Star Wars, man. Help me out here. I don't know about the flux capacitor. I couldn't build one.
But that was very.
Tell me how it works and how to put banana peels in it, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yep.
Well, Mike, I want to thank you for coming on tonight and sharing some things with us. Looking forward to next week when we get to actually go and shoot some video and listen to the products and bring that to our audience and such. We'll be there in the booth Tuesday once the doors open and see what you got for us.
I can't wait, man. I'm super excited. Can't wait to see you guys out there. And keep sharing the love. Anybody that has wants more information, check out electrovoice.com or any of your dealers next Tuesday. It's going to be everywhere.
Before you bounce, Mike, somebody wants to say hi.
What's up, guys?
Ron?
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Ron, just stopped by.
Nice.
So,
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, get in. Come on over. Drag that chair over here. Shit. Don't knock my table over.
Don't break it.
Or knock it over one or the other. That works too.
Oh. Well, thank you guys for watching and being with us tonight on Facebook or on YouTube. We'll be back again next week, but we do not know scheduled times. It's going to depend on when we find information, when we find spots and internet and all these different things. But you will find we're going to do some segments from the show, a little bit more live from the show, because we should have a pretty good internet connection there than we have in the past. So you guys will be able to see the stuff right away from the show. And then, of course, Brian and I will do a little segment and just have some fun at DJ Expo. So everyone, have yourself a wonderful week, and hopefully we get to see you next week at DJ Expo. Good night, everybody.